We've all had, or will have, at some time in our life, a moment when someone that we love needs more care than we can personally offer them. But we want them to have the same home comforts. We want them to have the same loving care. We want them to have confidence, and we want them to have the attention that we would want to give them ourselves. So we want them to be in a kind of home from home. Well, here at Woodley Christian Care Home, that's exactly what you do get. So let me show you around.
Woodley is an award-winning care home and is set in the very heart of Mansfield. With a great mixture of old and new, it has its roots firmly set in Mansfield, as the memorabilia adorning some of the walls can prove. I was met by Samantha Reynolds, the home manager, who took me for a chat with her and the owner, John Walton. I asked them what Woodley was all about.
Woodley is a family-run, family-owned business. It concentrates on all the individuals and the residents. We try to make sure this is a home for the residents. It's their home, not ours. And we try as hard as we can to make sure the care is as good, the best care that we can possibly offer.
It's a home that I'm proud of. It's a home that I'm proud to be involved with. We've got a good boss, which is really helpful when you need a manager. And we give care that we're proud of and really try as best we can to run a friendly place that's happy. The staff are very committed and very involved in what we're doing. The residents are very involved in what we're doing. So.
I think that the history of Woodley goes back a long way in Mansfield. It was originally set up by the local church who saw a need for a Christian care home. It's had local people involved. I've been involved since 2003 as the owner, and you've been here since 2005. And that sort of stability and community is vitally important when you're thinking about a care home, a nursing home, to consider for your loved one.
As soon as you walk through Woodley, you get a very homely feeling. There are 41 bedrooms that are a mixture of single and companion rooms. I took a look at two of them. One in the old part, with wonderful features, and in the new part. All have TVs as standard, and of course ensuite toilets and sinks. And everyone is encouraged to bring their own things to make it as homely as possible. As you can see, every room of course has a call system for the residents that sends a signal not only to the wall mounted screens but also direct to the carers. There's also an assistance button and emergency button for staff if needed. I met up with Donna Butcher, who offered to give me a tour of some of their facilities.
So Donna, we're here in one of these very clever bathrooms that you've got. Now, this I understand is a hoist so that people can come in the wheelchair, you put the sling around them and then the hoist will take them over and then obviously into the bath.
It does, yeah.
But if you don't want to use that, and we move that out of the way, you've also got, equally if people come in a wheelchair or if they're walking with a Zimmer frame or whatever, you've got this very trick chair. So, do you want to show me what this does and how this works? You've not got any water in there, have you?
No, we haven't,
right,
no.
Okay. Go on then,
Right.
I'm holding on. What
The
happens?
chair goes up,
Right.
and once it gets to a so height, it'll swing round and then start lowering you back into the bath.
As well as the very clever temperature controlled baths, they have these shower rooms. Again, cleverly controlled with these great shower chairs that move electronically to allow showering. We then took one of the two lifts up to look at how the home's beds work, with assistance sidebars to aid getting in and out, as well as height, back and leg controls. Woodley employs over 50 members of staff. I spoke to two of them to see what the difference is between caring and nursing.
I'm one of the home senior care assistants. I've worked here for 6.5 years. My main role is to provide care and support for the residents and their families. We help residents from different aspects, from personal care to assisting at meal times to promoting independence and choice. We obviously have activities on a daily basis. We have entertainers that come in. We help residents listen to music. We have armchair activities. Just everything that you do in your normal home, but in a bigger organisation, and the whole home feels like one big family.
Well, the job of the nurse is really to support the carers to deliver the best possible care. There's a technical aspect to the job as well. So we deal with feeds, drips, drains, drugs, catheters, anything like that people need to maintain their health whilst they're here.
I also thought it would be a good idea to speak to a relative of one of the residents to get their thoughts on Woodley.
Yes, as well as Mum, I've got my mother-in-law, my father-in-law. They're up at the top in the other lounge. Sometimes they're all together, but today we're not. I usually visit them on another day, or Keith will come in, my husband. So it's lovely. I knew as soon as I opened those doors, the feeling you get, it's a real family feeling, and that's what I wanted for Mum. That was the important thing.
Food and meal times are also important, and nutrition and a balanced diet. But there are fresh cakes made every day. As well as modern kitchens, there's a laundry and housekeeping team. There's an on-site hairdresser to pamper and preen you so you always look your best. And even a full-time chaplain. I asked her what her role was.
We do a number of things. We have a Bible study once a week. We have a prayer meeting that we do in the lounge, which a number of the residents come to. We can have anything between 15 and 20 to each of those. We have a Sunday service every other week. One of those services, a local minister will come in from the area, because we encourage as many ministers to come in and share with us. And I do the other one in the month. I spend time with the families, and especially those residents that are not too well, who are in their rooms. I make a point of spending time with them.
Obviously it's called Woodley Christian Care Home, but I asked her, do you have to be a Christian to be a resident here?
We welcome anybody to come here. All we say basically is that the home is run with the Christian ethos, with the Christian care, that hopefully just adds that little bit extra to the care that we do, because the Christian ethos is there.
Even outside, Woodley is very calming and tranquil.
They've got a fantastic garden. There's loads of different places to sit out, but whilst you're here, why don't you join in?
There's more than just gardening. If you want to, it's all about joining in. And here's the person to make that happen.
So Kirsty, you're the Activities and Ambition Coordinator. So what do you actually do?
I help support the residents in meeting their social wants. So while the carers help residents with their care needs, I help to encourage social interaction with the residents in more of a community environment. So I help residents get out into the community, so I still encourage personal banking, going to the library, popping out for a bit of lunch or shopping or going to the cinema. Then we have general activities within the home, so whether it's arts and crafts, hairdressing, massage. We regularly use the computers within the home because obviously we've got the internet connection all over. So I help residents with shopping, emailing family in Australia.
So it actually sounds like it's a really fun place to be.
It is. There's no need to be sat in an armchair when you're old. There's still life in our residence, and we like to encourage people to grip it and take the most of what they can while they can.
And how's this for an activity? They actually have their own residence choir. And remember Paul the nurse? Well, here he is as choir master. I asked him what impact the choir was having on the residents.
The result of us running the choir, we think, is that everybody who's in the choir seems to see the doctor less than the people that haven't yet joined in.
Okay, well I'll let you carry on with it then. Crack on.
Right, thank you very much. Everybody, Sleepy Jean, please.
Well, hopefully that's given you some idea of just how wonderful Woodley is. But it's a very big decision for both you and your loved one, so do what I did. Come down and have a look for yourself. You won't be disappointed.